As we get closer to the end of the year, it's important to make sure that you have a checklist, something that you're looking through to make sure that you have everything, all your ducks in a row when it comes to finances, when it comes to your retirement planning. One of the things that we always look into is, do I have my budget set up? Is the budget set up right? If I'm working, did my income change? Did I increase my salary? Did I get a bonus? Are my expenses going up? Did I finish paying the mortgage? Has that gone away? Are my expenses going down? All that different stuff that you want to know is, how has this affected my budget? So something you want to look into is setting up a statement of cash flows where you can look at what money's coming in, what money's going out, and go through it that way for you. Another item in your year-end checklist is assessing your investments. You want to make sure that your investments are doing what they're supposed to be doing. You want to look at, where's my risk tolerance at? Where is my investments at? Am I in a position that I don't want to take a lot of risk, but all my investments are in the stock market? Well, that wouldn't work out, right? So you want to make sure that you're in a position that you feel comfortable with when it comes to risk. But you also want to assess the investments themselves. So if you have money in the stock market, how is that doing compared to the S&P 500? If you have money either in fixed index annuities or safe money vehicles, how is that doing in comparison to the bond market? So you want to make sure that your investments are doing well for the year and assess, where are they at? If they had done well for the year, great. Maybe you could take out more income next year. If they haven't done well, maybe you might have to tighten the belt. So what are some of the things that we want to look into? If you're of RMD age and your money does well for the year, you can expect a higher RMD that you'll have to take out next year. If you are at a RMD age and it doesn't do well, it's a lower RMD that you'll likely take next year. But you want to assess your investments as you get close to that year-end mark. Another step when it comes to your retirement checklist is that you want to make sure you're maximizing your contributions to your 401k plans, to your employer sponsored retirement plans. So if you're still working, you want to make sure that you're still making those contributions if it makes sense to. And you can actually catch up if you're over age 50. So if you're 50 or older and you want to put more money into your 401k or your 403b, you actually can do that. You can do up to $30,000 in 2023 into a 401k or into your Roth 401k or into your 403b or your Roth 403b. So this is $30,000 that you can have saved. If you're looking back and you say, hey, I only did 22,000, I need to do the extra 8,000, maybe it makes sense to adjust your contributions for the rest of the year to be able to max out and maximize the amount that you're able to put into that employer-sponsored plan. But what if you don't have an employer-sponsored plan? What if you just have an IRA or a Roth IRA? And you've been putting money in each month, or you've put some money into it over the year. You want to make sure that you're putting the most that you can into that if you can afford to do so. So you can put up to $7,500 if you're over age 50 in 2023 into your IRA and into your Roth IRA. You can do the same type of thing too if you're under age 50. You can do $6,500 for 2023 into your IRA or into your Roth IRA. Now, if you're married, each of you is able to do this. Each of you can put $7,500 over 50 or $6,500 below 50. But be careful on that, because you have to have wage income. So if you're retired and you don't have any earnings from a salary or from wages, you can't put the money into there. But if you're working, this is something that's especially important for you. Look into how much you put into your 401ks for the year, how much you put into your Roth IRAs, and make sure you're maximizing the amount that you can put in there. Another thing on your retirement checklist that you want to make sure that you're doing as you're getting closer to that end of the year is, well, have I taken out my RMDs for the year? If you haven't taken out your required minimum distribution, this is something you have to do. You don't want to get penalized for not doing it, because if you don't do it, you can get penalized up to 25%, which is something we don't want to see for anybody. So if you have money in your IRAs or in your 401ks and you want to take that, and you have to take that money out, you want to make sure that you're taking it out. Now, you also want to make sure that you're doing it as cost effectively and tax efficiently as possible. And one way that you can tax efficiently take out your RMD or a portion of your RMD and not have to pay taxes is through doing something called a qualified charitable distribution. And you can move that money from your IRA, from your 401k, and send it directly to a church or a charity that you care about and have that money go direct to them. You don't have to pay the taxes on it, and the church and the charity doesn't have to pay the taxes on it. So if that's something that you're looking to do and you haven't done that yet this year, that can be an important thing to look into. Something that is always on our retirement checklist as we get towards the end of the year is Roth conversions. When it comes to tax planning, Roth conversions can be a way to minimize your taxes over the rest of your lifetime. So by paying more in taxes over a short time period in the near term, we could be able to save a lot of taxes in the distant term in our future, because you have those required minimum distributions that you're going to have to take later and pay taxes on. By moving some of that money in an IRA or in a 401k that is taxable, that you're going to have to pay the taxes on, and putting it into some place like a Roth IRA or Roth 401k where you don't have to pay the taxes on, it can be very advantageous. Now, the problem with this is it gets cut off at the end of the year. So at December 31st, you can no longer make any Roth conversions for this year. So it's something that there is a ticker on, and you want to make sure that you get this done before the end of the year if it makes sense to do it. So Roth conversions, huge item to look into. Should I move some of my money from my IRA or from my 401k into my Roth IRA, into my Roth 401k, pay the taxes now and allow that money to grow tax free?